Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. Off the cuff video, guys. For everyone that's new, what does that mean? I record and I upload. There is no fancy editing skills. There is nothing, going on. I do have a transition button. So if it starts raining or if the farmers come in or there's some sort of noise out there that I can't, talk over and your audio goes messy, I can, stop filming and wait for them to stop and then carry on. These weekly Wednesdays, you ask me questions, I answer them. They are primarily model focused and it's primarily GW stuff. There is terrain questions that come in from time to time, and there is, sometimes information about myself, what's going on here, and general stuff that's going on in the workshop. Okay, for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. It was a little bit of, I had a moment just a minute ago. I haven't done the studio tour yet. That is planned for this week, but the place is a mess. I've just not been that motivated to do things, and it's frustrating me. I think yesterday when I did the Let's Build the Chaplain, Primaris Chaplain on the bike, I was humming and hawing what to do. I didn't know what to build. I had to do Let's Build video, but I didn't know what one to do. So that's why I done him. And actually, I'm quite pleased with the way he turned out, and everything else is actually a fantastic model. Anyway, on to the questions. Do you ever use organic materials? I have done before. Now, the problem with organic materials, it likes to try and decompose and break down. Now, I did speak about this a long time ago. The organic material I used before was the grape stem, okay, to make a tree. And I trimmed all the flesh myself, trimmed it down the way I wanted it. I then got a cocktail stick, snipped it in half, and had the cocktail stick hanging down, had the grape hanging on there, so I could put it into polystyrene, and I varnished it with water-based varnish. Now, guys, that's great because it soaks into it if it's porous, but you need to look at the material you're using. I wouldn't use organic material again, just because the way it reacted, it looked fantastic. I flocked them, it looked amazing. Trees were fantastic. Until a couple of weeks later, then there was big mouldy fluff balls hanging out of them, and I was like, ruined. So if you're going to use organic material, give it loads and loads of varnish. Okay. Now, bear in mind, you could varnish it, use a whole can of varnish on it, every single square millimetre of it. And it could be shiny, shiny, shiny. Then you just undercoat it with black paint or white paint, whatever you want to do, and then start working around it. Okay. I won't use organic material again just because of that factor. I do have a massive secret project in mind to do. I've been thinking about it for the last month or so, and I will be building it. When I see it off camera, it will be recorded, but you won't see it anytime soon. It's going to take me approximately a month to 2 months to get it built, maybe even 3 months. So in the meantime, the terrain builds that I do are going to be like very easy and very quick, simple ones. The one at the moment is a piece of food packaging that I'm actually turning to a lovely piece of terrain. So the terrain builds over the next few months are going to be very easy, very simple ones. But there is a big project on the way. I just need to finish tidying up this space here. So I haven't been motivated to do any of that. Got to finish tidying up this space here, and then I can start working on that project down the other end of the table. Now, to be honest, there's so many little jobs that need to be done here, and so much work that needs to be done here. Not just with filming, like this, and Let's Build and painting videos and terrain videos, just sorting things out. And like my material jars, the plastic jars, there's one there full of water that I use for painting, but the ones just, I need to even label those up and write on those what they are, so I don't have to look for every single jar and just go, that's what I need. It's a full-time job, but I'm trying to do it in part-time hours, if that makes any sort of sense. So I'm getting there. I'm also gathering components for a Necromunda Ash Waste build. But the components I'm gathering are actually it's slow for me to gather them. It's actually the lids of the big candles. That's what I'm gathering at the moment. Someone will go, what the hell are you use that for? What I build with that, I don't want to build one. I want to build 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, or just build as many as I can. So it makes a nice little collection of them. But anyway, I love your Let's Builds. I've just got a night kit. Do you plan to build one of them soon, as the kit is very intimidating? I love the knights. I want to get knights for my Chaos Space Marines and for my Space Marine army. The big ones, the small ones, I do want to get them. But at the same time, I'm saying it, I'm holding back. Same with buying loads of new models. I'm holding back. I covered this last week, I think, because I don't want to have the new models and spend all the time doing them, and then the older models are sitting there doing nothing, because it all needs to be glued, it all needs to be painted. So I want to get, don't get me wrong, I do want to start bringing newer models in, but I don't want to get swamped with new models and the pile of shame gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm actually making such a headway through the pile of shame. I've got 2 bits of, sorry, no, the Imperial magazine hasn't come in yet, which is great, because I've still got the Necron Warriors, which I'm going to do off camera, because I've done a Let's Build video on those before. I've got the Immortals to do on camera, which again, they are pretty much, by looking at them, I haven't looked at the instructions, I was looking at the sprue, they'll pretty much go together the same way as the Necron Warriors. So I would, and there's only 5 in the unit, so I'd probably glue 2 on camera, yeah, and do the rest off camera. So that video won't be very long for you guys, maybe 10-12 minutes, which is great. The Skitarii Rangers to do, and I believe, again, I had a brief look at them, I didn't look at the instructions, and I believe you've got a sergeant model. I don't think they're called sergeants, they're called something else, but sergeant model, the guy with the big long rifle. I think there might be 1 or 2 guys in the unit that are different to the rest, but then the rest of the guys are all the same. So when I come to do them, that's how I'll do it. I'll do the rifleman, the sergeant, the 1 or 2 variants, and then 1 or 2 of the normal guys, and then just finish the rest of them off camera. But by the looks of them, they look very simple to put together. Just there's that many of them, it's time consuming. But again, I want to get those done before the Imperial magazine comes in. There's a bird coming in the doorway there. Before the next slot of Imperial magazine comes in. But I believe, no, I won't be getting 31 or 32. They won't come for another couple of months. But wherever one comes in, I want to have them come in and start working on them straight away. I've got the Blade Guard veterans, the Eradicators in the Indominus box. But those guys go with the Space Marine Heroes that I built the other last week, I think it was, from the Indominus box. They actually come in and honoured to the chapter box or something like that, which I should have done actually. If I actually looked at the GW site, I actually would have realised and done all of them together in one video. So that's what I should have done, but I didn't, unfortunately. But so they need to be done. The Outriders need to be done. I've still got the 7th edition box for 40k game to do the stuff that's off camera. But the wife's back to work today, so I'll probably do a few bits of those, later on. And then I've got the rest of the stuff. So I do want to incorporate the newer models in, including the knights and everything else. It's waffled on a bit there, guys, sorry. But I need to try and balance it, like 2 or 3 things that I have here already getting built, and then something new comes in, gets built, or 1 or 2 things new come in, get built, and just keep going like that, because otherwise I'll be swamped with all the newer stuff and the older stuff will be sitting there. The same way, I think when the Demon Codex drops, I believe the Demonettes will probably get a resculpt. The reason I say Demonettes is the Horrors, the Bloodletters, and I believe the Plague Bearers are all on the 32mm bases now. The Demonettes are still on 25mm bases if you buy them from GW. Now that could represent the fact that those other demons are big and chunky and tough, and the Demonettes are faster and slender. I can understand that. But I just think the Demonettes can get a resculpt. I think actually the Demonettes and the Bloodletters might get a resculpt. Well, we'll see. I hope. Well, I say I hope they all get a resculpt, only because if that's the case, then I want to get some plague bearers before they do that, because I have the bloodletters. Don't really like those models. I have the demonettes, which I like those, but I don't. I hate putting them together. They're not. You know, I've done that many of them. If you haven't seen my Children of Chaos video, go back and have a look, guys. It's on one of the weekly Wednesdays. It'll be in the playlist. I think the image on it is me holding Skull Taker, the back of Skull Taker, you can see. But I think the horrors, I think with the horrors, it should be horrors. They had their own rules. And then you can have pink horrors, which then split into blue and then into incandescent horrors, I think they're called. But anyway, that's me waffling on again, sorry. If you controlled GW, what would you do differently? I would actually look at each faction, okay, and I'd make each faction codex, I'm talking about 40k now, as big as the Space Marine codex. So do you look how many, if you're a Space Marine player, you look in the Space Marine codex and look at how many different unit types that they have. I'm not talking about the Blood Angels or the Dark Angels supplement, I'm just talking about the actual basic codex. That is how big they all should be. They should all have that many units. And one thing I would be doing, if I contrived all that, I would be trying to come up with new ideas and new units to add. So say like next year, summer, say for example, the 10th edition drops. It's not confirmed. It was meant to, but it's not confirmed. But let's say it dropped, and the first two factions out. Just say it was Space Marines, Poster Boys, and Orcs. Okay, they would have their 30 or 40 units as normal, unit types as normal, with updated rules and everything else. But then I'll try and push another 3 or 4 units in there, unit types in there, with new sculpts, new models, and I would try and do it so the Orcs dropped. Everything for the Orc army that came out in this edition, resculpts or just new models, then in the 10th edition, when their codex drops, everything that didn't get a resculpt in this 9th edition would then get a resculpt then. Okay? Because as a player, you want to get the new sculpts, you want to get the different variations of the same, model, not special characters now, just models. Like I said, when I put the chaplain together on the bike, I actually said I probably want to get another one, give them a different helmet, the exposed face, because probably the next edition there could be a totally resculpted that. So for me, it'd be perfect if I actually have one with the skull helmet, one with the human helmet, and then when 1 or 2 of the new sculptors come out. So for bigger games, I've got different, playing my opponent, I'm aiming at the chaplain on the bike with the skull helmet or with the open helmet. It just makes the things a little bit easier. But I would also probably every edition of 40k, I would be trying to introduce a new faction. Okay, and the new faction would probably come in with maybe 10 or 15 unit types, and then when the next edition comes on, that 10 or 15 unit types will be then developed to have maybe 15 or 20, 25 until it's up to the same as everyone else. Or every 2 editions bring a new faction into it. That's the way that I would be doing it. So it's not just you're adding new models, new sales, new sculpts. You're actually also increasing your player base range, because people are going, oh, I like that model, let me start collecting that army. Oh, I like that, let me start collecting that. My main man, he started off and he's like, no, there's no pile of shame, no. And now he's got, I've lost count how many armies he has on the go. All built, from my understanding. He's built them all, but this needs to be painted. They need to be, more stuff needs to be added to make them into 2,000 point armies and everything else. I'm actually thinking, because we need more wargaming, clubs and everything else. I'm actually thinking, see how the next couple of months for me pans out. I'm actually thinking of starting a wargaming club here. I do live not in the middle of nowhere. I have parking outside and everything else, but I'm just thinking maybe in the next couple of months, depends on how things pan out for me, of doing something like that. So if you guys know me and know where I live and know the area that I live in, or if you'd be interested in something like that, just drop a comment on this video, and we'll look at and make a plan. Because if there's just me and one other, it's fine. If there's me and 3 or 4 other people, then great, fantastic. We can film the videos for the channel, where we can just play for fun. All depends what what everyone wants to do. Now, I've waffled on a bit now. I'm going to bring you down for the vote and show you what we got going on here. So, hold on a second. Right. These Space Marine Tactical Squad still not finished. That's from the 7th edition. Now, they're not great models, but let me show you. There is some amount of detail on them to paint them. So, but the Honor of the Chapter, the heroes that I built last week, obviously there wouldn't be one vote for all of them. It would be, vote for this one, vote for that one. But this amazing moddy, Valkyria, whatever her name is, the Call Knight hero. This interesting lad is an Orc Shaman. He was the wild card for the last couple of weeks. Now he's up here. There's Chaos Cultists. I still haven't finished building them, because they're from 7th edition as well. We had the Stationary Chaplain on the bike that I built yesterday. Absolutely fantastic model. This monstrosity. I have Librarian from 7th edition. Again, there's some amazing details on that model. We have the Chaos Knights. There's more of them than this. I have this guy. The claw has actually stayed on him. The Illuminar. And the 2 Space Marine heroes. One with the shield, one without the shield. Right, so there's also the wild card. So they're the models to be voted on for next Monday's painting video. Now, you get 1 vote each. Comment on this video with your vote. And the voting stops at midday on Friday. Okay? So whatever vote comes in after that won't be counted. Comment on the video, and your vote will be counted towards the, Monday's painting video. You guys voted on the Call Knight chosen Chaos Space Marines with the bases from Immersive Terrain last week, and they were painted up Monday. They actually went up. Monday. I was uploading it onto YouTube, and all the power went. So it actually went up just after midnight. I think it was like 12:40 or something. It went up, but it was intended to go up before. Unfortunately, just everything outside of here delayed me a little bit, and next thing you know, I was editing the video, and it was 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, and so by the time I actually got to upload it, it was late, and then the power went. I think it's like an hour and a half. The power went, so then when it came back on, it continued to upload itself. And so there's also the wild card. Don't forget the wild card. The wild card is not another Orc. Okay, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if it's helped you in any way, please hit like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me waffle on. Remember, if you're interested in a Wargaming club, chuck a comment below and we'll have a chat, because I've got an 8-foot by 4-foot table here. I've got terrain, I've got balls, I've got, everything. Don't forget to cast your vote on, what you want to next Monday's painting video. I know someone's going to put me under pressure and vote for the Chaos Cultists again. Guys, until next time, take it easy. See you later.